What up? This is Drew Lieberman, Coach Liebs, bringing you episode 12 of Coach Talk. Before we get into the episode for the day, I just want to announce the wide receiver challenge for the week is a toe tap challenge. Catching the ball on the sideline, getting your feet down right before you fall out of bounds. By the time this Coach Talk episode is posted, you'll see the full Teach Tapes episode on Instagram and on Twitter. So check that out. Send in your best examples of a great toe tap catch on the sideline. And we will announce the winner next Monday. But again, another chance to win a free pair of Cutter's gloves and showcase yourself a little bit on the Instagram story, which has been a huge hit and been awesome interacting with fans that way and showcasing a lot of the great athletes around the country. Today, as far as the episode goes, it's raining out right now. Today is Tuesday, so it's generally third down day for us. And I thought it was a good opportunity to provide you guys with some insight on kind of how we handle rain at the high school level, or at least at Don Bosco. I know it's similar at other places in our league. Basically, there's three options, and it kind of depends on what week it is, where we feel we're at as a team, and how bad it's actually raining outside. The first option, obviously, is to tough it out and practice outside in the rain, full pads, and nothing changes. I think as coaches, when we feel like the kids need to compete really hard, we feel like they need to be physical, we feel like we need a full practice, like we'll definitely do that, especially, some of the bigger weeks, like depending on what the week is, that is certainly, I think what most of us prefer. The second option is to stay inside and, kind of combine a lift with a walkthrough, walking through whatever plays we're installing, and then extra film time. So that becomes more of a mental day and then more of a potentially recovery day or strength building day in the weight room, which again, that could be if we feel like the kids are competing and preparing at a high level, that might be beneficial to give the kids a day of rest, slow everything down, make it more of a mental day, maybe move forward past third down and attack more of the red zone today and do some of that stuff if that's what we choose to do. It's definitely important as a coach to be very prepared for this day, that if you're going to stay inside, you're going to have an extra half hour of film work, you better be prepared with some good cut-ups, good examples that will make this really useful. It can't just be a day off. And you got to go compete in the weight room and be really locked in the walkthrough. And then our third option is to go to a bubble. There's an indoor facility nearby, and we can have an abbreviated practice inside the bubble. The downfalls to that is it's not a football field, it's a soccer field, so you don't have the exact hashes and landmarks, and also that we're not the only team in the area that reserves that bubble, so you have to be ahead of the game and kind of look a couple days ahead, predict when you think the rain is going to come, and then reserve that before anyone else does. So I'm not sure what our plan is yet. I think it's a little too early to call right now. It's about 12:30 when I'm recording this. We practice around 4 meetings right before that, so we'll kind of wait to see how bad it is before we make a decision. But just, thought that was interesting for you guys to hear. Those are kind of the three options. Either you go out, you tough it out, and as coaches, you got to really bring energy and make sure the kids aren't, crying poor me for being in the rain. You're inside. It's a mental day where you really got to be prepared as a coach to prepare them more mentally and bring the players through some scenarios and through some great cut-ups and film clips. Or, you find an indoor facility to practice in and you have your practice as you normally would. So that's pretty much all I have on a Don Bosco front, on a coaching front. I wanted to get some Q&A. The last week, as we've been including Q&A in the Coach Talk segment, a lot of receivers have asked me questions about how to improve their craft if they don't have a quarterback available to them. And I think it's a very interesting question and something that I really want to tackle because, the last thing I want to allow you to have excuses after watching my content or after listening to this. Like, there should be no excuses as to, the process to improve your game. You got to find a way. So the first thing I would say is find a damn quarterback. Like, it's not that hard. It's 2018. You have Twitter. You have Instagram. You can text people. Like, if you bust your butt, trying to find a quarterback within a 10-mile radius of you that will come drive to you or you can drive to them, there's got to be someone willing to throw to you. So first of all, I would say, work harder at finding a quarterback and ask yourself, how much you really care about throwing with live reps and just do more to get that done. Because there's got to be somebody in your area that's willing to throw to you that needs the work as well or can invite you to their own, routes on air session, whatever it might be. Just work harder and use the technologies available to you to find a quarterback. First of all, I don't think you should really be making excuses that way. But, there are times, whether you find one or not, there's going to be times where you're without one. There might be it might be real for you that you truly cannot find a quarterback. And if that's the case, I think there are a couple options. Something a lot of guys do with me is they will run a lot of routes on air and prop their phone up and film the clip and then trim it afterwards. So they'll send me, let's say they run 50 routes. They'll send me, either their 5 worst ones or 5 best ones, whatever they think they need help with, and ask for my feedback on that. So I think that's definitely something you could do. Again, it's 2018. You have all of these awesome technologies available to you. You could FaceTime somebody during, the middle of a training session and get live feedback. Things like that. There's plenty of things that way. So I would definitely, start to film your routes, run a ton of routes on air, and create different pictures in your head. All right, this is an outside leverage corner, with the safety over the top. How is your route going to change? I'm running a slot route versus an inside leverage linebacker. How does your route change? And just continue to create different pictures. Go through the process of seeing the defense, changing your route based on what that defense is, and just, try to execute those techniques. But film them, review them yourself, watch it over and over, compare it to guys you see on TV and what you can find on YouTube, and then send it to me or a high school coach or a parent, whoever it is that you go to for feedback on your craft. And then, I get a lot of questions. How do I improve my hands without a quarterback? And that's obviously tough. I think, one, if you go to the catching segment of the Instagram story buckets that you see on the Instagram page, you'll see the lying down ball drill, which is something I featured quite a bit, where basically you're just lying on your back and anybody can throw you the football. They're about 2 yards away and they just circle around you, throwing you the ball from different angles. And the key for you is to catch it out front in front of your face. Really exaggerate your eyes, and now you're looking at the ball from different eye angles, whether it's behind you, right in front of you from different angles. And I think that's a really great drill where anyone can throw you the ball. Your little sister, your mother, your brother, anyone can throw you the ball and make it effective. Put it in different spots, aggressive hands, exaggerating your eyes on the ground from a couple yards away is one of my favorite drills to improve your hands. And you just need another human to toss you that ball. You don't need a quarterback. And then the other thing I would suggest is get a lot of tennis ball work in. I use tennis balls a ton with my clients and my players at Bosco and everywhere I've been, because I think it forces you to focus your eyes on a smaller target and forces you to be even more precise with your eyes, and really trains your eyes. Because the key to catching a football is having great eyes. Everyone, if I threw a ball at you right now, would instinctually put your hands in front and have enough physical ability to catch it. What really separates great pass catchers is their ability to attach their eyes to the ball in any situation, with a guy draped over their back, with a ball at an awkward angle, like whatever it might be. They find a way to get their eyes on the ball so they can see it before they catch it. It's why it's such a cardinal sin to let the ball get into your chest, and you see a lot of NFL guys doing it, and it's a bad habit. That's how you see a lot of drops, is you try and trap the ball with your chest. First things first, the first thing that does is it hits off your chest and that bounces everywhere. It's hard to just trap it. But secondly, you're letting it get past your eyes. When you let it get into your body, your eyes cannot track it fast enough to see it into your chest. And that's why you want to keep it out front, because you can see everything the whole time. And you have to be really precise with your eyes and really disciplined with your eyes. So I think using tennis balls, whether you have someone throwing you a ball, and again, pretty much anyone can throw a tennis ball, you exaggerate your eyes and try to be really specific, catching the tennis ball with your fingertips and not with your palm. Or just throw yourself tennis balls off a wall. Again, no excuses. Just find a way to do something. Throw it off a wall, make yourself go chase it, and really attach your eyes to it, and really, really focus on eye detail. And I think that's something you can do with or without a quarterback, is find different ways to throw a smaller object at you, and you're constantly training your eyes, constantly talking to yourself about attaching your eyes. And that's a process. Getting your eyes and your hands to be in sync 100% of the time is something that you have to train. I think that's the advice I have for you guys who are wondering how you improve your craft without a quarterback. Film your own routes, send them to somebody for feedback, use social media to find a quarterback first and foremost. And then, the lying down ball drill where someone's throwing you balls from a couple feet away at different angles, and a lot of tennis ball work, I think are solutions for you guys, and things you can do at home. Those are things you can do in your bedroom or your dorm room. You can be making yourself great at any point of the day. And I think that, you hear stories of people who do that. Those are the guys that become great players and really start to master their craft. Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, when they were at LSU, they taught their girlfriends how to use the jugs machine, and they stayed in there all hours of the day. And now you see them making ridiculous catches on Sundays, and it's no coincidence. So find a way, use the tools available to you, and never stop improving. That's all I got for today. Episode 12 of Coach Talk. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.